Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Coach's Corner.
Hello.
I'm Chisa Butler, and I'm a transformational coach. I help you get out of your nasty thinking and set yourself up for success and be where you want to be.
I'm Lisa Ferrante, and I'm wearing a shacket.
Oh goodness!
It's a shirt. It's a shirt and a jacket.
Okay.
It looks warm and fluffy.
And it's warm and fluffy. And I am Lisa, Second Act Coaching. I'm a transformational health and life coach. Kind of gearing to that second phase of life for women, second act, and just happy to be here.
Yay. Hello, all. My name is Jessica Pfeiffer. I am a health and wellness coach, a private chef, and I am all about putting good foods into our bodies so that we can live longer, healthier, happier lives.
And I'm Claire Costanzo. I'm a transformational health and life coach, gearing more towards love and relationships. Not really exactly what we're talking about in this group, but to do with just bettering your communication skills and connecting with others and to yourself more, and just learning how to increase self-love and love for others as well.
Everybody needs love.
It fits perfectly into this group.
Yeah, it does actually.
It does.
Perfectly.
And Heather will be back on in a second. But we're really talking about our cleanse, guys. Like being better, doing better, full on. Like get your 2022 in a better place, right? Because you sit here and we contemplate life and decide what we want to do. And then halfway through the year, then we at the end of the year, and we're still in the same place we started at the beginning of the year. And if you're intentional about what you want to create, there's some amazing things that can come from that.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Heather Hill. The name of my company is Become the New, and I specialize in helping people transform through behavior change and habit change, things like that.
Nice.
Perfect.
So we're starting the cleanse. I'm trying to put this because I feel like it's so dark in here. Sorry, y'all. We're starting the cleanse on the 1st, our prep. And I feel like people have this thought process around cleanse that it's this horrible thing that they're going to have to die and they don't want to commit to. Because in reality,
that it's going to suck.
Yes. Or that we're going to make them do things that they don't want to do.
Like extreme, drastic.
Yes.
It's all about exchange. It's not about giving up.
Yes.
Exchanging.
Yeah.
Very true.
This for that, right? Because dairy, can we just, I know a lot of people still eat dairy and that's like a touchy subject for people, but dairy, you would be so surprised if you actually sat and looked at what dairy does to your body. Y'all ain't kids anymore.
Well, also, like we all got a cold, and it was when anybody gets the sniffles in my house, I cut dairy out immediately. No more yogurt, no more milk.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut it out for myself, and I caught myself a few times thinking, "Oh, I wanted cream in my coffee. Like we use real cream."
Oh,
but it's I did fine cutting it out, and it's not forever. And I heal from colds and such, and my head gets unclogged a lot faster than my husband's because he won't give it up. Yeah. So it's just interesting to see, but because dairy actually helps create all the mucus in your gut. And when all that's growing and thriving, it's very hard to get it out of your head. So that's one of the reasons I cut it out when we catch colds.
And that's the beauty of this group of women is we're going to be giving tips on dairy and things that I think a lot of people don't know, and gluten and the benefits of eating clean. And, this is an ongoing group. If you're here in Coach's Corner, this is an ongoing group of tips for health and well-being that I wish I had this group a long time ago. So I'm excited for all of us to share this journey together.
Yeah. So speaking of gut health, etc., right? We talked about it. Hippocrates, I was looking up last night. He was a Greek physician almost 2,500 years ago. And you know what he said? All disease begins in the gut and all health can begin in the gut, right? So 2,500 years ago,
They knew.
somebody was saying this. So
Yeah, I've read too that your gut, some people think it's your first brain, not your second, because it controls so many things in your body. And it's so interesting how misunderstood it is, or how it's taken so long for it to become mainstream about gut health. Because when I suffered from Graves' disease, they figured it out right after my son was born. And it was a very touchy topic to have a thyroid that's too fast. That's what Graves' disease is. But a thyroid that's too slow, my regular doctor could treat that. But they were like, no, nobody knows much. And that functional medicine doctor, the one I finally ended up with, and I went that route because I really wanted to have a second child urgently, because I was 38 at the time. And when you have Graves' disease, the mainstream path for you to take is the medication that they give you is quite toxic, and you cannot get pregnant anytime soon thereafter. So that's how I started this whole natural path of learning how to heal. And the functional medicine doctor that I found, the first thing he said was they've really found some great progress in healing Graves' disease through healing your gut, but we just don't understand a lot about it yet. And that was 10 years ago, 8 years. It was 8 years ago. They've come so far in just 8 years, and talking about it, understanding what's going on. And through nutrition, I put that Graves' disease in remission through nutrition.
Yay.
So Hippocrates, Jess, I thought you were going to say also, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food.
Absolutely.
Is what he also says. And I believe it.
And in order to get there, we have to cleanse it. We have to clean ourselves out.
Yes.
And then start slowly bringing stuff back in, so you can see what it is that's affecting you. Yeah,
I mean, and people might be at different levels too, because so of course in the cleanse we're not going to eat fast food, we're not going to eat deep fried foods, and that's like huge. That was huge for me 8 years ago when I first went on this adventure, and it took years. Really just in the last year have I really, really let go of all fast food. So, I mean, if you're thinking, I just can't do that, maybe this is just a place where you need to come to hear, to get open and give up big things like fast food for 2 weeks. Maybe you cannot live without dairy for 2 weeks, but maybe you can live without white breads and grains for 2 weeks. Maybe you'll go a little slower. I mean, that's the whole point, is just to go at your own pace, but to have a really supportive tribe and be open to ideas or hear ideas of why you might want to go further.
Yes.
Having connection along the journey is huge. Having 5 coaches who are dedicated and kind of are your accountability coaches is huge. And everyone is so powerful in their own right, and everyone and anyone can do something for 14 days.
Right.
You'd be surprised you want to keep going.
And
I saw a post the other day.
You might just feel so good that you continue, and we're here to help.
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw a post the other day and it said, if you believed in Santa Claus for 10 years, you can believe in yourself for 14 days.
I love that. That's our
Let's put that one out there.
Right.
out there.
Fabulous.
That's huge.
Yeah. Just believing that you can. Chiza talks about thoughts all the time, and that's been a real journey for me too, but just believing that you can. I had this piece of paper on my mirror for almost 2 years, and it said, actually, I can. That was my only affirmation for so long. It's like, actually, I can do that. Because I kept telling myself that, oh, you can't do that. That voice in my head, you'll never get that done. You'll never do that. You'll never stick to it. And so I looked at that every day. Actually, I can.
Mm-hmm. Those are 2 nuggets. You need to post those, believe, pretend, and actually I can.
Yeah. If you think you can't, then you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You won't.
Mm-hmm. So in the cleanse, we're going, there's so many tools. It is not just showing up and being oh, hey, yeah, what did you eat? It's tools to help guide you through, help make you better, for you to start your year off amazing and to keep it going. Yeah, sometimes people, it's you can't suit an old dog new tricks kind of thing, right? Sometimes life gets away with you from you, and you start to do things that you're like, oh, I don't have no time. I gotta just grab this really quick. But if you prep from the night, meal prepping, and it's not just a piece of chicken and some broccoli. Let's get away from that, right? Like that's what we always say. Everybody thinks I don't want a meal because you're gonna make me eat just some chicken, some dry piece of chicken and some broccoli. And that's what I gotta eat for the 14 days. But Jessica has made some amazing recipes for the group. And all you have to say is I want in, and we will send you the link to whichever coach you decide to come with. We'll send you the link. And
they're nice and simple too. So you don't have to become Martha Stewart in the kitchen.
No, we're going to talk about meal prepping too, right? I mean, we're going to do a little meal prep beforehand.
I think it's the 31st. Jess and I are going to go live, and she's like the trained chef.
I wish she lived here.
And I'm like the average girl who finally learned to eat the same thing 3 days a week, because I would meal prep and then not want to eat it.
Yep.
That's terrible. But I had coaches tell me, look, it's fine. It's fine for your body. It's fine for your life. It's actually good to get good at that. And I hate throwing things away. Yeah. So I did. It took a while, but I've learned how to tweak it and work it for me. I have cheats where I buy like certain things pre-made, like the chicken already made and already put into little things for me. Like you can do that at Sam's or at Costco. And when I can't cook and I know that it's crazy, I have cheats like that work for me. Mm-hmm. So we'll share those kinds of things. And like if maybe you're just not a cook. Yeah, I got workarounds.
Well, we have fun, easy recipes we're going to be sharing with you guys. So it's anybody can do it, right? You don't have to be a chef to do it.
You don't.
Yeah. And I'm knocking fast food, but one of the things I did get good at was I found a Jason's Deli. If I couldn't get to where I needed to go, or if I, was on the go and needed a meal, you can almost always find salads in grocery stores and different prepared things that are healthier, or even hard-boiled eggs. They may not be the perfect choice or what I'd want all the time, but in a pinch, I just learned how to make different decisions that support my health a little bit better.
That's the key right there. In a pinch, to make a better decision. Do not let your downfall, your fail be, well, Burger King's over there. I could just get them to make me a burger and call it a day and roll off. But you know what? And here's the deal. If you love fast food and you can't give up your fast food, cool. But eat slow. Take time don't eat fast because you're having fast food. Enjoy what you're eating. See if you can taste the lettuce. Taste if you don't have it on there, Lord, help you. Taste what you're eating so you could turn around and be like, you know what, they got pepper in this. Like, look for a spice, make it a game. Like, let me see what I can figure out. What did they put in here?
It's a great idea.
What is that? So it's about having that time, is taking that 20 minutes to eat the meal. And we're going to offer a journal where it talks about the 20-minute meal, how it works, how you track starting from the day 1 to day 14, how long it took you from the beginning to the end to just enjoy the food. Take a breath. Don't just wolf it down and have that sitting on your stomach, and then you feel horrible for the rest of the day and you go back to that. I shouldn't have eaten that. It's cool. If we know everybody's not going to commit to not doing fast food, let's be honest. We're realists, right? But slowly eat. Take 20 minutes. Start a timer. See how long it takes you to chew, because you're supposed to chew for a specific amount of time. You're not just supposed to chew one and then swallow it down. Your body cannot digest that. And that's what people are missing. The slower you eat, the better your body will be able to break it down, and it will keep you from gaining. I mean, fast food may not be your good thing to do, but if you cannot do that, slowing down, allowing your body to be able to digest the food.
And chewing it, for sure. Chewing, saliva breaks everything down. It gets more nutrients into your system. Yeah, for sure.
And give yourself time to feel that, gives yourself time to feel full.
Yes.
After 10 to 15 minutes.
Yep.
It takes around that time to even feel full.
Yeah, it does. And so one of the days, Lisa is going to talk about hunger and fullness. And so we're going to totally cover that. And then we're bringing mindfulness tools down to earth, as opposed to what on earth does that mean? Like
Yes.
we really go into some specific practices, like really easy things that you can do to change the way you think. I'm going to talk about behavior change, and it's like a little exercise, and you can literally figure out how to do something differently.
Yeah.
It's all based on BJ Fogg's model, and he's a professor at Stanford University. Like it's sound scientific stuff. We're not just making this stuff up.
No. There's science to back it, right? Because everybody talks about people need to know the science behind something, or you can't just tell me something. Prove it to me and show me that it worked, right?
But some people want that. Some people just want it, and then they'll do it. But then others just want to understand it all.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yay. So I don't know, if Heather, I know you talked about your journey a little bit before about your inflammation, and I'm not sure how many people saw the picture, that before and after picture of how crazy. And like I think about it myself, like the first thing I feel like when I start gaining weight is your face. It's like when you look at somebody, be like, oh, your face looking kind of goofy.
Yeah.
They don't say it, they think it. If we they don't say it, they think it.
Hey.
Well, then you get used to it. I didn't even realize how much I had changed at all. And then I lost a bunch of weight, and my face even changed. And my face is actually pretty thin in the 2020 picture that I shared. I'll have to share it in the group. But from 2020 to 2021, where I didn't go backwards, and I kept reducing the inflammation, kept reducing. And I eat a pretty anti-inflammatory diet. I eat foods that support my muscles. And I do things like sleep. I take really good care of my sleep. And I'm part of that 5 a.m. club with Chiza, but it took me, I really had to look at my habits and figure out, well, if you want to get up at 5 a.m. and be able to recover every day, you have to go to bed at 9:30, which means I have to put my child to bed at a certain time, and I have to have all these things done so I'm ready for the next morning. And that did not happen overnight. Figuring it out didn't happen overnight.
Right.
It just came with the desire to do more and more. And I was studying all these things about habit change. So I would implement one more thing and one more thing. And it all led to being less inflamed. And I have this cold right now, but it was crazy because I felt this cold in my back and in my muscles and in my neck for almost 2 weeks before I got a cold. And I knew something was off, and I kept thinking I'd hurt myself, but I'm like, I haven't done anything to hurt myself. So I slowed down a little at the gym, and then all of a sudden I got that sore throat and I got the cough, and all the pain went away. And that was my body being inflamed from this virus. I was fighting it off, but I could not have felt that a year ago.
Yes.
Not that severely, because I was really thinking, it's it. I'm 46. It's over. I've thrown my back out. I don't know what I've done to myself, but it was a virus.
Well, now I'm glad if you're saying that, because I'm in the throat process of it, but my body was aches and pains the last couple of days too.
Yeah.
I'm a lot older than you.
So the sore throat was horrible, but I sat up in bed that morning and went, oh, the back pain is gone.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Really, I kind of thought about it, but I was like, no, surely not. No, it was a cold.
Yeah.
But letting go of all that inflammation, you can really feel it.
Yeah, I love that you said we chalk it up to old age, right? We chalk up any problems that we have. Oh, I'm just getting old. I'm these aches and pains. I'm not sleeping right. But it's all about our health. It's all about what's going on inside.
It's what you're putting in, or it's a virus.
For me, it wasn't. This is like a little tiny bit off topic, but it's sort of just on going on like several years ago. I actually couldn't lose a certain amount of weight that I wanted to lose. And it was actually because it was the reverse. I wasn't eating. It's never been so much always what I'm eating. The consistency thing. I would eat at random times of the day, totally random. And my body was reading it as, we have to really hold on to things. Well, we have to hold on to this weight because we don't know when this girl's going to eat again. And I didn't have like an eating disorder. It wasn't like that. It was just, I wasn't being consistent with my meals. So it was just, my body didn't know how to read that. And I had massive energy issues, constantly fatigued. I mean, because I wasn't nourishing my body in the way that it needed in this cleanse. they're about to do. It's like, again, not about deprivation. It's, elimination, then, reintroducing foods back. In a way, it's almost like it's all about nourishment. So it's like when I think cleanse initially, it's like, oh, I'm cleansing all the junk out, and that's true. But it's also just like nourishing your body. And I I didn't know how to consistently do that before. I was all over the place, and my body was
that's a good point.
So so anyway, that's just like my little story there. That I'd be
opposite. Yeah, because people might see that by pouring this in over and over and over, it really changes how you feel. Yeah. And it's like when you really up your water intake, you don't have the capacity to drink a lot of pop or to drink a lot of coffee, because you've got to get all that water in.
Yep. Yeah. Water goals. That's my biggest thing. Water. Like, how much water are you drinking? Right. And remember, we talked about it last week, when you drink, how you got to back up the amount for the caffeine you drink. If you drink a lot of soda, for that amount, you got to double your water. So it's like, what do you really want? Do you want to be drinking that soda and talking about your belly? How it's, you feel uncomfortable. You feel this, you feel that. And it's like, we need to be more mindful of what we're putting in our body, and not think that your body you can tear it down and it'll just be okay. Right. But here's the deal. A lot of people think that they don't want to do something now. They want to let the doctor tell them. And for us, it's so simple to be a part of this cleanse, be a part of this community, be better for you, and not have to get to that doctor, because it costs less to do a cleanse with us than it does that doctor's appointment that you're still going to end up having to pay for.
So preventative measures.
Let's do this.
It's all about that. Yeah. It's a new concept.
When you go to the doctor, though, I can't tell y'all. I think I went to 4 doctors for my hormones, trying to understand why I felt so bad all the time. No one ever said, how much water are you drinking? Right. No one ever said, how much alcohol are you drinking? Because you need to add more water in for a certain amount of for your alcohol. Yes. And I was just dehydrated. Now, I'm not saying that I don't ever have ups and downs kind of days, but I was driving today and just thinking how happy I am. And I track my cycle, so I know exactly where I am all the time. I've been doing that for years. Yes. And I used to be really depressed this time of the month. And I was like, I'm just so happy and drinking my water. And when I get unhappy, the first thing I do is I go guzzle water. I know I've said that before, but until you try it, you just cannot fathom how much better you will feel. Yes, and, absolutely. Who was talking about the sponge and the water and the sponge? Maybe I was reading about that. It's like when you first start to really hydrate and drink water, you're like a sponge, and a lot of the water just rolls on off the top. But eventually you start to absorb the water. So, I don't know if y'all missed that.
No, we heard it.
Okay. We heard it. I clicked to reply. Somebody asked how much the cleanse cost, and I put $77, but then it opened up the whole entire Facebook. Sorry.
It confused us. So anyway, that's the sponge analogy. So at first the very first day, you may not feel it, but don't quit, because your body's just learning to absorb it, take it all in and use it.
But that's what people do. They quit because it does not work today. Yeah. That's what they do. They're like, I drank all that water you told me to drink, and I just had to pee so much, so I didn't do it again.
Well, all the whole peeing thing is interesting too, because I was keto for when I say keto, I was nutritionally keto, where I ate meat and a ton of vegetables, and I drank a ton of water. And there was this thing called the whoosh that they talked about. And at a certain point, you start losing a lot of weight. Of course, it happened to my husband way sooner than me. Yeah. But I eventually started healing, and then all of a sudden I had to pee 24/7. But then all of a sudden I lost all this weight, and it wasn't water weight. You actually burn things. You lose things through urine that are more than just excess water. So it was pretty fascinating when that happened to me. I thought it was a myth. I was like, the whoosh is a myth. I don't believe it. But I kept drinking the water because I felt better. And it was incredible when all that happened.
Just makes you feel better. It gives you, it helps cleanse you out, right? Like it helps get things moving.
Yep. Well, we're 70% water. So if you don't have that 70% where it needs to be, you're not functioning where you need to function.
People do what they want to do in their timing. So if you feel as though you're not ready to cleanse, it's cool. Like, but just start doing the little things like drinking more water, slowing down when you eat. Just the baby things will help take you to that next level. And then you'll notice the change. And then when you're ready to fully commit, we'll still be here.
Yeah.
Everybody's starting point's going to be different.
Yes.
Everybody's starting point.
And maybe you don't want to cut out everything that we're trying to cut out in this. You cut out one or two things. It doesn't have to be full bore. You make
because maybe you'll learn that you really thought, let's say dairy was your biggest crux and it was really messing you up. And so let's just say you cut that out for the 7 days of the cleanse. Because remember, we pre-cleanse for 2 days and we just get ready and get our mindset ready, get our pantries ready, get our homes ready. So then the next 7 days you cut it out and you feel the same. Yep. Maybe it's not dairy. Right. Maybe it's gluten. Maybe it's
now you'll
alcohol. Maybe it's something different. Sugar. It's probably
now
sugar.
You'll know how to cut it out and bring stuff back in slowly after this. So
yeah.
Heather, the last time you shared about the alcohol, right? About how long it takes your body, the fat it burn. You can't burn fat when you're drinking. It's like
you can't burn fat when you drink alcohol, and everyone's different. Because I have a lot of friends that we kind of did this together, and one person, like my husband, for instance, well, he doesn't drink. There was one person though that just kept. She could bounce back so quickly. But another person, like I think I mentioned, it took her 2 weeks, and it would take me about 4 days because we were measuring, we were looking at those ketone strips and everything. So we were like really seeing how quickly our body was processing through that alcohol. And we kind of did it. We were measuring it to see how fast that would work, which is crazy. But who cares if it was crazy? We wanted to figure it out.
Yeah,
but we were being mindful of our.
It's about figuring it out because some people complain about their belly. I'm starting to gain weight. I feel like I'm sluggish. But ask yourself, how many times a week, in a week do you drink? And if you feel you just have to have that bottle of wine. Okay, I said bottle, but a cup. But some people do drink a bottle. But that cup, everybody's talking about. Oh, I just have a glass of wine. I mean, and that's it right there. Like that glass of wine that you just have to have. Ask yourself, is that worth it? Because we can find other ways to relax at night. There's ways, but just remember, you get out of the result you get from whatever you do is what you put into it. So I tell a lot of my clients when we do our 30-day challenge, they don't want to get rid of the dairy, the gluten, all that. But okay, just remember, in the end, that 10 pounds you want to lose, you may have to cut that in half or even more than a half because you may not lose it because you're not committing fully. And we're not pushing you to commit fully, but just remember the results you want in the end play a big part in how much you're willing to commit.
I think, Heather, one of us said a while ago, I'm not going to coach you to less than you can be.
That's true.
I'm gonna hold a vision of you that you might not have, and I believe in you. And that's what you get with us 5 coaches is that we hold a vision of you that is going to be remarkable.
And you might not see it yet.
Amazing things in this group.
Yeah, and so we're starting off with in the group on Monday we're gonna work on our whys, why you want this, what kind of things are important to you. And we're gonna help everyone figure out, instead of a resolution for the new year, because for me resolutions get broke pretty quickly, and then you kind of feel, if you have a word that you can go back to, like I'm honing in on a couple words, and it's right now it's believe and abundance. And and I can go back to those 2 words or a word and see if it's aligning with my goals for 2022. Is what I'm doing falling into the abundance that I want to create in my life? And is what I'm doing aligning with my beliefs for myself this year? And it no matter where I'm at, it's so much easier because then that creates well-being on a whole different level than I have to go to the gym 5 times a week, for the first 3 months. Well, I'm going to let myself down probably the first week.
Yep.
But I can always come back to, I believe that I can be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I can be fit. And that's my constant goal. And so I'm not ever letting myself down.
Yeah.
And, the regret of, the standards that we put ourselves, the standards we put on ourselves are too much. We have this, I like to always say that small hinges swing large doors. And, there's a few tips that we're going to share. And Claire was sharing prior to us getting on here. There's a few things that you can do that are free and easy that will kickstart your metabolism no matter how you change your food.
Mm-hmm.
And stress is one of the main things that keeps weight on.
Yes.
And we're going to share those kind of tools in this reset that is well worth it, and then some.
It is. It's going to be exciting.
Very
It is
exciting. So start now, people. Like, everybody really needs to start really thinking about what things they want to, cleanse their bodies of, and words that they want to use for the new year.
Where do you want to be for the next year?
Maybe you have a limiting belief. Maybe you don't believe that you can. Because I know for a long time, I didn't believe I could get up in the morning and go to the gym. Like, I just could not get up that early. I did not believe that I could do it. And that limited me for a long, long time. And I couldn't get up early because I didn't have the things in place to help myself.
Our thoughts create, guys.
But once I let go of that belief and I just started thinking about, okay, now how could I? Okay, what could I do different? What could I do every day?
Actually,
and it led to, here I am. I'm finally doing it. It took 45 years because I started it last year, but I did it. And if I can help you do it sooner than I did it, that's awesome.
Yes, that's the thing right there. We can help you get to where you want to be. Between the 5 of us, I'm going to tell y'all become unstoppable if you just be willing to take that chance on you. Because I was talking yesterday, our thoughts create. What you believe, you get. If you're going to keep saying, that's what I've always done. Cool. Do you like the results that you always get? Or do you want to create we are, as humans, we are magnificent. We can create the life we want. We just have to change our thoughts to stop limiting us from reaching that next step or being willing to dream. Because a lot of people, you ask people, what do you want to do? I don't know. Time to sit with yourself. Write yourself a little note. Things you start. If something comes to you, keep a little. I mean, some people, they're not going to stick to it, right? But you get a little book and you write things that come to you, and then come back to them later and say, is this what I really want to do? Be willing to invest in yourself. That's what it boils down to, and what you want to do and where you want to go. And
it's fine to be a good starting point always is wherever you are in your life, and before coming to this cleanse, that's where you are, and that's fine to accept that. Not necessarily to stay there, though. Again, we want to start where you are. You don't have to feel bad or guilty about not being further along as some other people in the cleanse, or and feel ashamed for not having something figured out or not having a certain habit in place. It's wherever you are in coming to this cleanse. It's perfectly. You're enough as is. This is perfectly a great starting point. But that believe that you can be something more wherever you want to be. That's completely possible. Everything is possible.
You can come as you are, or you can come as you want to be. Either way.
Yes. Nobody's holding you to. You don't have to be one of us. You don't have to be that next person. Be yourself. Show up as who you are, and let's go from there. Because the minute you own where you are and are okay with where you are, that's the first step. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's your starting point.
Yes. Have a starting point.
Yeah, that's so true.
And everything you want is just around the corner.
Yes.
In Coach's corner. So bad, but I had to say it. Sorry.
But it sounded good.
It would have sounded better if I hadn't laughed, but it would have sounded a lot more like we meant for that to happen. But
But yeah, this is amazing.
You know, something that I'm really looking forward to is it next Friday when are we doing that in this group or our other group? We're doing that in our other group. We have a professional chef amongst us, and we're going to have this. So our live group, Chisa. I mean,
It's gonna
this
be in
group.
this one.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in the big group.
So you guys need to tune in next Friday when Heather and Jess meal prep for you.
Yes.
I
We're just
mean,
I'm planning it. We're just gonna meal prep in our kitchens. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
set up my little stand and my camera all profesh.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna possibly be wearing my pajamas. I don't know. I'll try to fix my hair and stuff.
I will
I'm
for
gonna
sure
be there
show
too
you
in
the
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 morning
morning here.
seal of how we do it.
And when are we doing that? We're going to go live at 11 Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time, right?
But it'll be in the group, so you
Yep.
please come live. That would be fun to chat. I have
Yes.
learned how to read the chat while I talk.
I'll be there for you so I could type for you.
Okay, good. But yeah, we're gonna make some dishes. I'm gonna show some of my go-tos, some of my cheats. I'm gonna talk. I planned on sharing like some daily things that I eat. Like I eat an avocado almost every day, or I get muscle cramps. Share things like that. Just to get your mind right for 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can
That'll
be
be
fun.
exciting.
Maybe we can do it together on the regular.
Yeah. All of us be live. We'll all be there just taking notes. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, you guys can all come join me in my cookbook club where I'm going to start doing some
Yes.
cooking.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing that.
I am.
Cookbook
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
I'm
A
there.
cookbook
Done.
club.
The other
It'll
thing that
just
held me
be
back
me
on meal
sharing
prep forever was
recipes.
dishes. So I'll share my dishes.
There you
They're all
go.
from
Yes.
Costco. So I did not spend a lot of money.
As long as you're counting chemicals, not calories, in that Costco purchases, you'll be all right.
Yes.
There you go.
Big
And
thing.
they are all glass. I know.
Oh,
I
you were
know.
talking. I
Some
thought you were
people
talking
think
about food.
that's
Oh,
nuts,
nice.
but I don't eat out of plastic.
Oh yeah.
No.
And that's something that I went through when I was trying to heal my thyroid. And I changed my laundry detergents. I gave up all fabric softeners. I mean, and I know my little brother thought I was crazy because my towels don't smell like Downy and stuff, but I have since learned to freshen them with oils and things like that with the little linen balls. But I don't do any of that stuff. I don't. But hey, I'm not on medication anymore, and I didn't have to have my thyroid removed, so I think it was a great choice.
Yeah.
People need to know that because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, my thyroid's acting up. I can't lose weight. It's so many things that you can do to heal yourself and not have to be on that medicine.
Yeah,
It was a deep dive. I remember my husband going, what do you mean you're not going to eat off plastic anymore? Like, really? No?
Yeah.
Like, no, we got to start the Pyrex collection.
I'm so excited about this group because there's so many things that, you know, you don't, there's toxins in plastic, you know, and I drink out of a big Berkey. My water is totally filtered, and there's things that we get to share with you all. Take what you want and like a fruit, eat what you want and spit out the seeds. And
yes,
you know, do. Okay, hold on. I'll be back.
I she's gonna go get her
I have a Dylan water bottle, and that turns my water into alkaline water. So it's little things that you can do that help you. Just that little thing, that little step, right?
Yeah, I used to have a friend that had a water distiller in her kitchen, and she lived in a tiny condo, and it like took up half of her kitchen. And I was like, gentry. And she's like, it is worth it to me. And I learned so much from her and just about what kind of water I was drinking.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was way back before I knew about all the things that were affecting me.
Yeah, you know,
and I would get thyroid panels done, and they would say your thyroid is completely fine. It would be within range. Because I was swinging from high to low sometimes, and they weren't testing for antibodies either. So your thyroid can be in range for years before it shows up in your blood work. I mean, it can look like it's in range and look like it's functioning good on paper, but you feel bad because the antibodies are there. So unless they're testing you for antibodies, for Graves' disease antibodies or for Hashimoto's antibodies, your blood test is telling your TSH levels and your T3 and T4 levels might be within range, but they may not be optimal for you. So I learned all these kinds of things in this little quest for health.
What were you going to say, Lisa?
What I was going to say is that a lot of times when your thyroid is off, you're low in iodine. And those are the things that I have learned, like you, Heather. And that, but, you know, we talk, I think, Chisa, you brought it, anyone brought it up earlier, but if they slowed down the setup part of what the side effects were on the medication commercials,
Oh, yeah.
if they just slowed it down, just
so you could see.
Yes.
You could find out that the one thing that it's trying to fix, there are 50 other things that it's going to hurt.
Yes.
And if you give your body nutrition and you fortify it with all this stuff, you're setting yourself up for success. But that's a whole nother naturopathic topic.
Yeah.
That's a slow, that can be slowly intertwined. But if you have questions, let us know, you know, type it in the group, just ask the questions. We're here and we'll talk about it so everybody can hear it when we go live.
And we also all have different resources. So it may not be that we know the answer, but we know a person to ask.
Yes. Yes.
But
So
this has been a personal journey for all of us. That's why we're here. This health and well-being has been important to us. We have sought out this information to make ourselves better and more healthy and aligned with who we're trying to be. So that's why we have so much compassion and drive, or empathy, and you know, all the words.
yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes. So you don't have to struggle for years and years and years to figure it out, because one of us knows somebody or has gone through it, and we can help just cut out, right? Just a little bit of time. And yet, yes, not everybody's going to want you. You have to experience the fail, right? Before you can actually believe the truth. But in the end, you can come back and be like, now I'm ready to listen to you.
Or the changing your thoughts thing. I would not have thought that I had negative thoughts all those years until I really started diving into what on earth does that mean?
Yes.
And how to, when I got aware of what I was thinking, to replace it with a different thought, like to consciously,
Yes.
and I mean like silly stuff, like cleaning the kitchen out and getting irritated because I'm cleaning the kitchen out again. And then I'd have to stop myself and say, hang on a second.
Yes.
That's really not how I feel.
No.
And then I'd have to trigger it into something different and I'd be fine. But it was huge.
Yes, it is big. People don't understand. Like, you get so upset about something, but then
you could last the whole night.
What are you really? Yes, you'll be so mad for so long, and then you'll be like, listen, I'm all about not wasting any energy. So if we cannot waste energy on being mad about crap, then that is the most amazing thing ever. Because I literally now just take a breath, my master's degree in breathing, right? Do I really want to be this mad about this stupid thing that in 10 minutes is not even going to matter, right? So it's like asking that question, like I always ask my husband, am I crazy? Because you sound crazy, so stop asking me crazy stuff. I'm not entertaining crazy. I'm not today. I can't, because you have to be intentional about what you allow. Like, if you get involved in an altercation with somebody and you're fighting about something that is the stupidest thing on earth, and in 5 minutes you're like, you know, it really didn't matter. It wasn't, but you fighting because you want to get your point across. You want to have that last word. You want to have that last thing. It's not about that. It's about just realizing, what does it affect me? Does it what that person did? Does it really affect you, or is it just a thought you created in your head? Because
everything is like we've learned. Everything is neutral.
Yes.
Every situation is neutral
until we
give it thought.
Yes.
We can choose the same thought for, you know, the sky is blue. Well, no, the sky, and that's so beautiful. No, the sky is blue and it's awful.
Yes.
We can choose which thought we're going to go with, and And I heard the other day from one of our coaches that overwhelm is just a thought.
It is.
And it's like, I started feeling a little bit overwhelmed this morning when I was going to the grocery store and I'm shopping for 3 meals. I don't like to do that. I'm shopping for Christmas breakfast and Christmas Eve dinner and, shopping for my mom. And I like to just do one task.
Yeah.
I'm just a task person. And I was doing stuff and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And wait a second. That's a choice. I don't have to feel that. And I did that today. And it really just settled me down. Yes. And I just continued on. And so I'm glad I had that tool to pause.
It's a great example.
You know?
Y'all know I like that word overwhelm every time. No, you're not. That's what I'm gonna tell you. No, you're not. You're not.
Has no time for overwhelm.
No, I'm not trying to do it as rude, but overwhelm it doesn't exist. You create it.
You're expanding.
Yes, it's either
getting bigger.
You're overwhelmed about something or something somebody said to you, right? And it's like, or you're trying to do something outside of your comfort zone that somebody else is saying this is what you should do. But it's okay. Everything is in your own timing. If you don't want to do something right then and there, take a breath and you be like, I can't do that right now. I'll come back to that. But that's not something I can fit into my time. It's about being okay. And I spoke about it yesterday on my live. Be okay with speaking your truth. If somebody says something that you don't like, that you don't want to do not take it on just because you don't want to disappoint them. Because in reality, they're disappointing you because they're not thinking about you and your feelings. So in the end, we have to be willing to say, no, I will not. And it's hard for people, I know, but work on it, right?
Yeah, saying no is hard for me too.
Start small.
You think about it, when you're overwhelmed, you're just concentrating on it too much.
Yep.
Well, which is causing more of it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
This is a great group. I'm sorry, Claire. This is a great group because this cleanse is just the start of something big. And this group I know we're going to expand and grow. We're going to cover topics that are near and dear to our hearts. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be running most likely ongoing cleanses. And, this is 20.
I'm doing it because I want to do it for my future,
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to do them, every single one of them. Spot on, 100%.
What were you going to say, Claire?
I think I was saying something about, on the note of overwhelm. Overwhelm comes from, it's a choice to feel overwhelmed, and it usually comes from feelings of expectations and judgments you put on yourself.
Not right.
Again, like living up to somebody else's or your standards, or like a certain standard that you have in mind. I thought that's kind of, if we kind of, same thing. If something feels overwhelming to you, if the idea of a cleanse feels overwhelming to you, or even, pre-cleanse or during the cleanse, just a good thing to ask is, what kind of expectations are you putting on yourself? What kind of judgments? Who are you doing this for? Where is this coming from? It's coming from somebody else, it's coming from you. And it just exchanging all of it for, we're experimenting here. This is all about getting curious, experimenting, just getting to know yourself better, knowing your body better. So that's what we're trying to do here in this cleanse.
Well, that's such a good point.
It's amazing. Listen, guys, stay tuned. It's going to be amazing. And for those who have not made the choice to join us, think about it.
Let us be ready after Christmas.
Let it sit in your mind, because what we have created and what we're coming with is worth it.
It is worth it, and it's real tools brought down to earth so you can really understand them. And you might not be able to put every single thing into practice right then and there, but just being aware of it and being like, I could use that. And then getting aware of when you might need it, just awareness in general.
Really cool. You belong here as you are.
Yes.
So come as you are. You're welcome as you are, and you'll do wonderfully as you are. There's no right or wrong here.
Yeah.
I love that. You belong here. You have a lot of great phrases today.
And remember too, it's a judgment-free zone. So please share with us.
Yes.
All parts and questions, comments, concerns on your journey too.
And if you want to join the cleanse, hit up whoever invited you to the group and let us know. And we're also going to post the link to sign up if you.
We have a web page coming.
Yeah.
So exciting because it's the
And,
first time
yeah.
I've really designed something
Yeah.
for me or like for us for our coaching gig. I've always done this for like a different employer or something, and I feel like I'm really using a gift to what it's really meant for.
And we're grateful.
And we are lucky, Heather. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
She's
you.
amazing.
She is.
So before we go, right, I want everybody who's watching, who watches the replay, to think about what one thing you want to let go of. Once the beginning of the year starts, right? What do you want to let go of? And just be honest with yourself. That thing that you're, if it's food, if it's a habit, if it's something, what's one thing you want to let go of? And be like truly honest with yourself. That ask it, how is it serving you? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it something that's making you down a deeper path that's not worth it? Just be real with yourself.
And can I add one more thing to that, Chisa? I like, what do you want to let go and what do you want more of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, what do you want more of? I think that would be like, let go. What do I want?
Yes. Who do I want to show up as? Because that's the real thing. Do you want to keep showing up as who you are? Because if you love yourself, come on with it. But if there's something you're always like, oh, I could do that, and it's just you don't have that urge or that whatever it is, that drive to get you to give up that thing, come chat with us. We can help you.
Actually, I can.
Yeah.
That's my next post-it.
Yes.
Maybe it won't take you 2 years. Like
I know.
Actually, I can. I can do
Yes. Yes.
that.
Okay.
And all are welcome here. So,
Yep. So is there anything anybody else want to share before we go?
No, this is almost the length of a real coaching session, though. It's kind of cool.
It was. And
we'll be
somebody,
back.
I know somebody got something out of this.
We'll be back next week, same time, yeah?
Same time, same place.
Looking
busy,
forward- the
fun
day
week next
before our
week.
cleanse starts.
Yes. So, and then you can still join us. Come
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
So, but everybody have an amazing day and a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Christmas.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we'll talk to you again.
To
All right.
all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.